we go. Everything's good to go, it looks like. Well, here we are. Welcome back. Monte here. And yeah, a little late, but better late than never in this case. Did say I was going to try to stream some REMIX tonight, and there'd be some REMIX right there. Perfect. Well, like I said, a little later than expected, but still going to play for a bit. Welcome aboard, Vector. I see you there in the chat. Ugh. Spaghetti sounds good right now. It's been a minute since I've had Italian. I think the last thing I had was actually Mexican. One of the restaurants we have where I'm at makes really good nachos. Hey, welcome aboard, Honest. Just making sure everything looks good here. Yep, I'm doing a little bit of that remix like I said I was going to tonight. If we get any extra faces in here, may or may not show off a little bit again of what I was showcasing a bit yesterday with the, I guess you could say they're the behind the scenes for the one of the trailers that I'm working on with the stills, with the figurines. Might talk about that again if anyone wants to actually see that in action. But for the moment, oh boy, what are we going to do with all these characters? True, absolutely. It's been a minute since I've had one of those. Like, earlier it was a, yeah, when I had Mexican last, it was like a nachos con carne. Oh, so good. Loaded up with like extra beans, extra of that ground beef, and then of course tons of guacamole. Keeps you full pretty much all day at that point. Hey, General, welcome aboard. Talking about Mexican food at the moment as I get ready to hop into some remix action. Play a character I haven't actually touched in a minute. Get some of that sandbag going. Sleeper pick, literally. You sleep on sandbag and you're in for a world of hurt. Oh yeah. Keep forgetting we actually have an alt variant of Isaac's Venice Lighthouse stage. For a moment I thought I was fighting regular Falcon, but nope. Only one character has that amazing melee death sound. Oh, I should have held. I tried to save you, Blood. I'm sorry. You were just too far away. Sandbag. You know, it kind of goes back to what I've said in the past, and I still hold true to it, but if Sakurai had given us Sandbag instead of Piranha Plant as like the out of left field, I do whatever I want, joke pick sort of thing, I would have been so much happier with a Sandbag moveset over friggin' Piranha Plant. But it was never meant to be. Oh, I missed. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I held. Hey there, Cora. Welcome aboard. Dang it. Leave me alone, Blood. Get out of here.
This game's winner is...
Oh yeah, there was that alt in Flash too. I know we were talking about maybe if we have the means to actually have more recolor slots, it would be kind of cool to pull in some of the other fan games recolors on certain characters and utilize them for what we have. Because the Crusade and Flash have a couple of really clever recolor ideas, I feel. You know what? I'm going to see if this even holds up a second. This is definitely hit and miss depending how things go, but yeah, you can actually do boss battles in REMIX. It's just not always the safest thing to do. Who do I want to play it as, though? Probably gotta be the Bear and the Bird. Gotta have the right recolor, though. There we go. Alright. I think this is actually... Okay, I mentioned this before when it comes to like having like the backports playable in REMIX. Arguably one of the coolest things about it is the fact that you can actually take these guys into boss battles and you know, fight all these bosses that we did not get back in Ultimate. I mean, this isn't counting, because I know this guy returned in Ultimate. But the fact that you have so many other bosses that you can actually fight with all these characters that was never meant to be, it's like, it's just so good. Oh, I thought he was going to jump. I'm going to need one of those hearts earlier than expected. Welcome aboard, Neon. At the moment, playing a little boss battles. I definitely get that. Although, also, yeah. Welcome aboard, Iron. I'd recommend getting Remix now as it stands, just to have. Because I am genuinely going to be curious how many people prefer, you know, Remix where it left off versus where Rex starts up, basically. I mean, it is still going to be an actual continuation from where Remix would have been if it had stuck around. But just the fact that, you know, there's two builds now, basically, where we were and where things are going to be. I think for preservation's sake, it wouldn't hurt to have DX, just because DX is a... It's actually kind of cool what sort of milestone we got out of it at the very end. I gotta fight Meta Ridley now. Oh gosh, PM. Yeah, I know there's an Ultimate modder doing some quirky stuff now, so... I guess we'll see which one happens first at this point. Because yeah, when you're on a hiatus like that, everything's just screeching halt at that point. Oh, I'm scared. Give him the uppercut. Give him the 1-2. Oh, I hate that move. Have a backpack. I hate that move, but at least I got a decent recovery. Get back here, you darn Robo-Dragon. You die. Definitely, like, the novelty of, like, being able, like I was saying, being able to play these characters in boss battles and running through them with characters that were never meant to fight these ones. Like, Banjo versus Rayquaza. Who would have thought?
Ready, go!
Uh-oh, he's angry. Ooh, I, too, can shoot projectiles. Would you like some eggs? They're good for your diet. Oh, they came up short there. Here, have some more. You look cranky. Oh, he's gonna pop up out of the ground. How'd you do that? Backflip of death. Hey, welcome aboard, Jake. Best characters would probably have to be Vector Man, Banjo, and Black Knight. Those are the three that I usually like to play most seriously when I'm playing against people, here on Remix anyways. I'll sometimes play Dark Samus as a mix-up, because I do like how Dark Samus plays. PD Piranha. Hey, Julian, welcome aboard. Oh gosh, basically bring back PlayStation All-Stars Smash Edition. Would be cool. Oh gosh. And then it would just be fun to have like both rosters overlap with one another. I'm like, oh no, not like this. Wait, nope. Oh, he's angry. Yeah, I'm not actually fighting him. I'm fighting the cages. But no princesses to save, alas. Ooh. Fear the backpack. I love that taunt. It's showboating, but it's perfect. Ooh, You know, I never actually gave a Monte remix tier list thinking about it all this time. Maybe that's something I should do before we move on to Rex. That would be kind of fun. Oh, we got the best melee song playing right now, too. The good stuff. Minor Shadow and Knuckles. Oh yeah, Dark Samus is good. Well, quite a few. The, well, Knuckles P+, with, you know, carryover from stuff that was happening in PM before PM disbanded. Shadow was done by a Legacy XP dead at the time that does a lot of animating and is still kind of active in the scene. And you might have seen some videos of that recently. That's not actually Ridley over there, by the way. You're going to see. Aria character. Funny how that works out when you just get generic Plant and Ultimate instead. Yeah, I might have to do the Monte, the list. I need to go back through and replay every character again just to really get a feel for which ones I genuinely enjoy playing and which ones are kind of, you know, they're just there. We all have those characters, especially when you have a roster this big. Oh, you know what? I might show that off in a second. After I finish off fighting Ridley here, I'll go over what I showed off during yesterday's stream and talk about that a second, because it does technically have to do with Rex, so... Bad bird, bad bird, very bad bird. I mean, this makes sense. If you have Ridley as a playable character, why not reskin the boss to be a different boss character? There we go. Get out of here, not Ridley. Okay, let me pause this for just a second. He's just so happy. Look at him. He's just having a good time. He's glad to be here in Remix. Collecting all these trophies, beating up boss after boss. I want the boss version. It's a good question. I mean, obviously we want it to be like its own true boss at some point, because it just makes sense. You know, if you have a playable Ridley, you don't really need a boss version necessarily, and not in the same vein of like how Giga Bowser's handled. And the Dynablade skin actually fits pretty well, just needs a little bit of like fine-tuning to really feel authentic. Alright, give me 1 second here. I'll talk about this again. I think I can actually make it pop up right here. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, I showed these off during yesterday's stream and talked about it a little bit. So this is Rex related. If you've been on any of Honest streams recently, you've probably seen a few of these images that I sent his way to leak, as it were, and talk a little bit about what's going on here, including a couple of images that I did not send. So as I mentioned yesterday, one of the Rex trailers is having a fun callback to, I guess you could say, Smash's roots, in the sense of like, in Smash lore, it's never actually been the characters interacting with one another. It's always been portrayed as like a kid in his bedroom with a bunch of toys and imagining them in all these what-if scenarios. Just a kid playing with their action figures, basically. And taking this trailer back to the root presentation of how Smash has always been portrayed is more or less the goal here, which is why it's so focused around these figurines to convey that vibe, basically. Yeah, basically like a toy trailer in a way. As you can see, there's a ton of figurines here of all these different characters that exist in the Remix Rex roster at this point, which is also really cool, because that means it's not just the official roster that has figurines being showcased in this. You actually have like our expanded EX roster. All these amazing fan-made characters get represented through this trailer too. And there's a bit of a story playing out with it as well. Like, the inspirations behind this presentation is a mix of like Subspace vibes with a bit of that intro we got in World of Light, where you see all the characters up against this army of master hands that are just like looming over them, and then they're just wreaking havoc on them and them trying to interact. It's kind of that, because when we saw World of Light, like Galeem basically devoured all the Master Hands and just turned everything into trophies right off the bat. This toy diorama set up as a kind of a fun nod to like what it could have been like if there had been like a full-scale like battle going on between the roster versus the army, essentially. So a lot of posing figures that have like the wider range of movements, have more dynamic poses. The more simplistic ones are kind of filling the background a little bit. But yeah, a lot of figurines, and all these, of course, are mine. I have a huge collection that I've been like stockpiling of Smash characters throughout the years. So with this Rex trailer, finally putting them to use and doing something really creative with them that I never thought I'd get the chance to do. And well, yeah, here they are basically. And yes, we got some blurring going on here because there is some stuff that you're not meant to see yet. This toy trailer with all the figurines does have some that are, you know, new faces that are joining the Rex roster basically. So can't show those off. Not yet, anyway. Oh, gosh. I'd have to hire Pixar for that one and be like, alright, I'm gonna need like a fully authentic Toy Story-esque trailer a la Smash Brothers. There won't be a snake in anyone's boot. It'll probably be like shoot, what are those snakes from Mario 2? And it'll be in Mario's boot. That's the biggest thing I've always wanted to portray. Like, I've been into Smash Bros. Since the beginning. I remember the very first time I booted up the one on the N64 and was very confused at first because when we got the game, you just had this box art that had Mario and Pikachu and Link and characters I didn't recognize back then because this was 1999. And at that point, when I got into Smash Bros., how many characters at that point was I familiar with? Definitely familiar with Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, familiar with Pokemon, Star Fox. So most of the roster I was pretty well familiar with, but I had no clue who Samus was at the time. Kind of funny because back then I just thought Samus was a robot, and now Metroid is like one of my all-time favorite franchises at this point. But at the beginning it was pure ignorance over what the heck it even was. And it's also crazy to think that back in 1999, Pokemon was the newest kid on the block at that point. Like, Pikachu and Jigglypuff, they just released, you know, Pokemon just a couple years prior. So, yeah, Pokemon back then was the big new thing that was in the Nintendo lineup. And Earthbound was still fairly new. Like, it's crazy to think just how things are now versus what they were like way back then. But that's just me ranting at this point because, point being, always been a huge fan of Smash Bros. We'll never forget the exciting jump from 64 to Melee and how exciting that was, and the hype leading up to when Brawl released. I'm grateful that I've had the chance to see each step of the journey of the franchise and how far it's come from just being this, you know, silly Nintendo fighting game, party game, to this big conglomerate of representing all these icons in gaming at this point. Oh gosh. 6. Oh, how old was I? I was in high school at that point when Brawl came out. And this was like just a few months after Halo 3 released too, because yeah, Halo came out in September of 2007, and then Brawl came out in March, yeah, of that following year. So just about like what, October, November, December, January, about almost half a year later. Yeah, that was like freshman, sophomore year of high school around that time. Crazy to think about. Oh yeah, the Melee with the shield break. It's pretty good. It's amazing. I'll never get tired of it. That's just the charm of Jigglypuff at that point. Oh boy. Oh, definitely get that. That's the perfect time to really convey stuff, because things do get lost, whether it be in like Discord servers or even YouTube comments. It's a little harder, and sometimes certain things get taken out of context too, depending on how active the feeds get. I'll never forget some of the threads I've seen where there's like hundreds of comments and people don't even remember who it was they were trying to communicate what to, and it just devolves into chaos. I always feel bummed for anyone that missed out on Melee. Like, if I hadn't seen Melee at the time that I did, which was going over and visiting a friend, and he had it before I did, and seeing how amazing the game looked and sounded, and all the characters that were in that game that mine didn't have. His had Bowser and Zelda, and I'm just over here like, my Smash Bros. Doesn't have that. Oh, it is a lot of figures. Like, just do like a quick count of like how many are like shown off here. You got Sora, Samus, Kazuya, Donkey Kong, Mega Man X was there, Sans, Daisy, Waluigi, Wario, Zeraora, Bomberman are back there. Secret one can't talk about. Zelda, Pikachu, Olimar, Kirby, Ganondorf, Mewtwo, and Pikmin, Shadow, Luigi, Falco, and that's not even all of them. There are a lot more character figures that are actually in this trailer too. This is very minimum to how the whole thing is going to be playing out. I appreciate that a lot. I'm glad you were able to drop by tonight and share it, honestly. So, and that's why I'm working really hard to make sure you and everyone else have the chance to enjoy this, because I know everyone's been waiting. Some not as patiently as others, but at the end of the day, everyone has been waiting a long time to see what's happening, and that's the exciting part, is there's going to be something really big. Like, hoping Rex makes some waves. Obviously not too big of waves where it's like on a Nintendo hit list, but big enough waves that the community will have something really exciting to sink their teeth into and enjoy for a really long time. As long as we're able to go. Like, every single one of us on the dev team are very much aware that at any point it could come to an end, and that's it. But until that time, you know, actually happens, we're just going to keep moving forward and keep making awesome content. It's obviously, yeah, Honest is just the blurred out figure. Spoiler, it's just Honest. You don't know what he's doing. He's standing there, he's doing something, and he's running away from something. Whew. And to keep that one under control. Oh, any project always is. There's things that you think are going to work, and then as you're working on them, you run into hiccups, road bumps. Sometimes you have to put certain things on the back burner, and that's never fun, but it's just part of development. We're just more flexible since we're not actually an official like project that has deadlines and you know, you're trying to meet, you know, timetables so that your investors and shareholders all get their cut of it. Dishonest is actually taboo. Final boss confirmed. Oh, but yeah, tracking down some of these figures have been a lot of fun too. Like, some of these are recent figures that came out over like the last, let's say, like maybe 3 to 5 years, and then some of these are old. Like, I think the oldest figures in this collection that I'm using to showcase for this trailer would probably have to be the Zelda and the Ganon ones. Those things came out in the 90s, around the time Ocarina came out. Welcome aboard, Christian. This is not a screensaver. These are teaser images to one of the Rex trailers that'll be dropping when we finally release later this year. So what you're seeing cycling through are still shots of little moments that'll actually be playing out during this trailer. Think of it as like a diorama with a bunch of the roster being represented with all these figurines doing all this stuff as they engage in battle with all these master hands that are approaching. Well, Rex technically started not too... how long was it? Not too far before when we made the official announcement that REMIX was coming to an end, and then that Rex was continuing where that left off. So, yeah, about that time, because we were already working on stuff for the next update to REMIX before a lot of the head of the team, you know, the main devs, most of them decided they were ready to move on to different things, and the project ceased at that point. Because it was a collaborative project in REMIX. It was like 3 or 4 different people running the show, and many of them decided they want to move on to different things. And only one stuck around, one head dev. So the rest of us that were actually working as the team, we stuck around. A couple people have come and gone. We've had some new faces join too, and we plan on having more over time as we start releasing updates. But yeah, so I mean, it's not like It's not like it's been something that's been cooking for years, like we've secretly been like ready to evolve the remix experience through Rex. It was a bit unexpected, but we course corrected pretty quick and started coming up with new ideas to make what we wanted to showcase with Rex still stand out from what has already happened with Remix. You know, funnily enough, I actually mentioned that earlier too, is that the presentation of this is supposed to feel very Subspace-like, but also World of Light-like in some ways. Like visually, it's got a lot of Subspace callbacks with the very odd backgrounds and distorted colors. But having like the army and master hands up against the roster is supposed to be kind of tying into how World of Light was sort of doing that before the whole Galeem thing happened and everyone got turned into trophies just like that. So you're essentially getting to see like a battle playing out with all these figurines being posed in different ways at different times. Like they're being attacked by master hands. That much is supposed to be clear from the teaser. Like they're being attacked, they're taking cover, they're waiting to counterattack. You've got explosions going off in the background. You got several of them like floating in, getting ready to attack. And I've been having so much fun putting this together. And making like all the different props for it too, just to convey everything from like the lighting to the practical effects. Because yeah, I had to actually whip up some real props to make it look like there's fire and magic and all this energy going off around them. And anything that's like glowing or is illuminated. It took a lot of work to put together. So I'm excited to show it off, because this was definitely a labor of love promo to promote Rex, and also to just kind of shout out to what Smash Bros. In general is. Because the whole figure vibe is a callback to how it all began, because people forget, Smash Bros. Was always supposed to be about not the actual characters fighting one another, but a kid playing with his toys and having what-if battles with his imagination. Hence why you have Master and Crazy Hand, the left and the right. That's that whole thing, basically. It doesn't feel as much like that with the newest games, with the way the promos showcase them. It makes it definitely feel more like you're dealing with the real characters, but thematically it has always been just a bunch of toys going at it, because the kid's playing with his toys, or her toys, or whoever's toys. So it's pretty exciting to be able to like channel that and make something really cool and creative that hopefully a lot of people will enjoy for a long time. Even if they don't always just associate it with Rex, they'll still have some, you know, because someone might have had one of these toys at some point in their lives too. And might make them kind of think back to simpler times, where you kind of let your imagination run wild. Yeah, it was fun being a kid. No, not out yet. These are just teaser images, because this isn't the actual trailer. This is just a teaser of what will be released when Rex comes out. And then this is going to be released along with it to promote the build when it's available. That's also why there's some moments where you see some blurred out stuff going on here. There's figures in my set, like right there on the right, blurred out. Can't know who it is until the trailer is actually live and we're revealing our roster at that point. Well, you can still find people. I mean, it's not just Discord. I know you can find people that are looking for matches, but I know it is the most convenient way. So it is tough not having that as a tool, because there's no real... It's not like we have online matchmaking yet. If we ever get Brawl back, that might be a thing at some point. Oh. Well, I guess that being said, yeah, enough of looking at the repeating images cycling over and over again. I guess back to finishing off the boss battles. Hello, Banjo. Alright, let's keep the good times a-rolling. Who do I get next? Porky. And I gotta save that last heart because I still have a couple more bosses left to get through.
Ready, go!
Oh, that was close. Oh, those eggs do a lot of damage. I don't think they've been scaled properly for boss fights. So much the better for me, though, I guess. Got him. Porky is now toast. He won't be bothering Lucas or Klaus or any of them ever again. Uh-oh. Things are about to get a little handy. I have to. I haven't fought either Master or Crazy Hand, and of course it's Crazy first. I thought I shielded in time, but I did not. I let go. Not like this. Trivia. I don't think it's any secret at this point that, alright, let's throw some Monte REMIX trivia into the loop. What has Monte done, to help with the build ever since I joined the team? Let's see. So, Monte trivia for REMIX. I was responsible for throwing together promo images that you saw during, right around the time right before the 0.95 release of REMIX came out. I did the really popular image where I threw a bunch of renders together called the Tournament Edition when that was still a thing a while back. I threw that together, did a bunch of editing to that. That was like one of the first official things I did for REMIX, was that Tournament Edition poster that a lot of people really liked. Another thing that I did was I helped with the trailers in 0.95 and DX. Did all the visuals that tied the trailer together, took all the footage that I got submitted by the dev team and put that all together. Did all that. Picked out the music for one of them. Picked out the music for DX. But put the trailers together, and that's why they're up on my channel. So yeah, I helped with that. I also was the one that suggested that we do the what we call the 3D battle portraits, which, as you can see here, Banjo and Kazooie are kind of popping out of the hexagon, where before 0.95 they were still within it like a border. I suggested why not make the characters kind of pop out of it to look a little bit more like how Ultimate does theirs, where the characters are kind of like breaking free visually. So yeah, we call them 3D battle portraits, just because it visually looks more dynamic than just a flat image. So that was my suggestion. And the last big thing that I contributed was pushing the idea of having our backported characters look more visually like Brawl ones, with their proper extra texture detail and more Brawl-like colors, and baked in just little things to just make them feel more like they visually fit in with the Brawl aesthetic. So that's how I contributed. So there's some trivia there. That's what Monte did for REMIX, and we'll be doing for Rex at this point too. Probably not, or if it does happen, it'll be like a shadow drop that no one will really know too much about, or it won't get too much public attention other than the diehard fans. That's how I feel about it if it ever happens. Welcome aboard, Lucario. I just gotta fight Master Hand, and I think it's Taboo. I'm so close to the end. I missed with that egg shot. That was embarrassing. Oh, I thought I need all the health that I can get. Whew. Oh, I know that move. There we go. Now I think all that's left is Taboo. No, it's not. Oh, I forgot about this guy. Yeah, I might be doing this over.
Ready, go!
Oh, you're one of my least favorite bosses. Oh, I should have rolled away sooner. Have some eggs. They do a lot of damage. Whew. Oh, he's just out of range. Oh, that's me. It's only fair. I talked a little bit about the, oh, there's Taboo. I talked a little bit about the images that I showed off yesterday. Showed those off again. The figurine trailer that I'm doing for Rex. One of the big promos that we're making happen for when Rex drops. Oh, the hit sound effects? I'm trying to remember what they're from. They're not Smash Bros. That much is a given. I'm trying to remember which fighting game. I think it's one that's a little bit more obscure. Have you ever fought for? You mean like in-house stuff that we wanted to make happen? There's been a little bit of that. I think Zeraora was an example of a character within our team that was kind of like, what's the argument for it being able to be part of the, you know, the roster, if it was valid, warranted enough, and usually it boils down to how much progress is made on the character to warrant their inclusion in the build. Hey, welcome back, JViz. Let's see if I can handle Taboo with 92%. It's not going to be pretty. Oh, no. I thought I shielded. That is a lot of damage. Oh, it's that move. I didn't land in time. I should have down aired. Oh, well, 9 out of 10. But I need to beat Taboo. Maybe I should bring in the big guns. Almost as cool as Sandbag.
Ready, go!
Oh, I get to fight Master Hand first this time? There we go. What do you mean by developing brawl mods? Like, how much work actually goes into it? Which things do I know how to do specifically? Because as far as actually helping with brawl mods, pretty much I just help with like the cosmetics and audio side of things. I help track down, like if it's a character we're adding to the build, that they have a pre-existing set of voice clips and sound effects. I help track down those. I help with the texture stuff for like the brawlifying the characters, recolors, things like that. Oh, Vector Man. Yeah, his games are awesome. If I had a Sega back in the day, I probably would have been a Vector Man fan growing up, but nah, learned about him before joining the team and learned a lot more about him after joining the team. Oop, almost got him. There we go. Yeah, I should have just went with Vector Man from the start, I guess. Tricks. Oh, there's a lot that has to be done. Depending on how you go about it, you gotta know how to code the character, you know, coding hitboxes, hurt boxes, scripting for all the little sub-actions regarding how the character behaves. You have to have animations. You'd either have to port them or recreate them yourself. It's a lot of work. There's a reason why there's not more characters than there could be if, like, we had more people familiar with what to do. It's a lot of work. Ooh, I don't know how I got away from that, but I'm glad I did. Man, that travel's far. Oh, I let go too early, but it's all good. You can't stop this robot. I mean, similar aspect of, like, you know, limbless, floating orb type character. It kind of fits the same vein. Kind of reminds me of that Balls 3D game, too, a little bit. But it's cool. Like, you see the footage of Vector Man, it was actually a very clever way to do some really cool tricks with animating the character. Back on the Sega. The Sega Genesis, actually. Ooh. So, an example the team wants to add, or you have to search something. Something kind of like that. Because it's very rarely does it work out that you can have anything custom made, especially if people that do that sort of thing. Most of them are already working in the industry, working on their own stuff, so they don't really have the time to just work on models for a mod. You have to find ways to rework the models that exist. It's a lot of work. Like, I've even been intimidated by it. I've thought about it. I've looked into it before and thinking, oh, is this something that I could learn how to do? And I'm sure, you know, I could. Anyone could with enough time, patience, and practice, but I just don't have as much of that as I wish I did. So I have to make do with what I got and use the skills that I know I can do best to the best of my abilities. Put that as the priority. Hey, Big D, welcome aboard. Oh, dang. Yeah. There's a lot of, especially in the community, there's a lot of recolors that are usually based on some sort of reference, whether it be, like, in the case of Charizard, different Pokemon that are dragons. Vector Man here has some recolor references. Some are based on the alternate color palettes you get when you get splashed by these weird ink bugs from Vector Man 2. And a few of them are actually based on bosses and other enemies from the Vector Man games. I actually did the updated recolors for Vector Man when he got more brawlified, proper colors. Because he was a little too saturated before DX. Toned him down to feel a little bit more Brawl-esque visually. You know, funnily enough, Vector Man is almost the Sega equivalent to Donkey Kong Country, because they were kind of going the same direction with, oh, Nintendo's doing this with Donkey Kong with the rendered graphics. We can do something similar with Vector Man. And that's how come Vector Man came to be. Oh, that was Dynablade from Kirby. Actually works pretty well over the Ridley rig. Feels pretty on point. Oh lord. We're gonna do this, huh? I'll be taking a heart after this one. No, get out of here. There can only be one Robo around here. I could use some heals, though. There we go.
I want more.
You know, I think it was. That sounds familiar. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was one of their first real game projects when they were contracted by Sega to make Vector Man. Oh no, I gotta fight Meta Ridley now. Not as fun of a fight for Vector Man, not really having the means to get around properly. Ow. Just chipping away. Fire those lasers. Ow. All good? There we go. Get out of here. You can't stop this Robo. It's the coolest robot you've ever met. That you never knew about.
I'll be back. I want more.
I like the sound, the filtering of his robotic voice. Taboo for Smash. One day maybe. Playable L-Load would actually be pretty funny. Blue Sky. Yeah, Blue Sky, the new Twitter for Twitter X. Yeah, and yeah, get Meta Ridley, but still fight Meta Ridley. Some things are obviously still work in progress. Not even sure who would work as a good Meta Ridley stand-in character at this point.
Ready? Go!
Welcome aboard, Beast. Thank you. I'm one piece of the puzzle. There's so much more that goes into it. You got devs that actually are doing coding. You got devs doing animating, PSA work. Like, so much talent is being put into how much is happening with this release. Like, couldn't do it without any of the people that have been helping on this project. Oh, those my shields. But it's a big group effort. Like, we got an amazing team with very talented people that are making all this possible. So, I'm honored to be part of it. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up just to be sure. You got me curious now, though.
I'll take that.
Alright, here we go. Welcome back, Wario. Definitely, you got all these characters to beat up in this game. Where else can you beat up Vector Man? Whew.
Energy shot.
Got the energy shot. My hand is mightier than yours.
I want more.
Oh, yeah, it's a shame that technically Remix will be over and everyone will be calling what comes next just Rex from now on. But the legacy lives on, as it were. Oh, he's got such a good back air. Probably one of the best in the roster, just thanks to how big he is, too. Wait, nope. I missed. Hello. Whew. He's an angry Dragonmon. Absolutely, Julian is 100% correct about that. Dare I say, even 200%. The amount of stuff that's been cooking, whew, you guys got gourmet on the way. Yeah, that should be a goal someday. Just put it in the other Hoenn trio legendaries and have them be bosses too. Oh, here we are, everyone. Back to Taboo. Closest thing you can get to actual Rex gameplay at the moment was that teaser we dropped about half a year ago with Libre and Incineroar. Those are two characters that we confirmed will be in Rex. Alright, going in for the Taboo. Yeah, it actually makes sense, because this was right around that time. Gen 3 and Gen 4, that's a scary thing to think about. 2008. Gen 4 was the newest hot topic for Pokemon at that point. Oh. And characters like Pyra and Mithra, Joker, all them didn't even exist yet. Bayonetta, I don't even think existed yet, because didn't Bayonetta come out in 2009? Or 2010? Somewhere around there. Correct me if I'm wrong. It should either be 2009 or 2010 when Bayonetta released. Oh yeah, there was an old Legacy stage that had them facing off too. Pretty cool how it like that split of like hot and cold, you know, fire and water. Yeah, the only bummer is, and this is the only thing that keeps mods from being like true supremacy over the originals, is just how anti-mod Nintendo is. Like, I feel bad for the wider Smash community because there's a lot of people that want to talk about all the cool stuff that we're doing and other people are doing, and they can't because they know they're too in with Nintendo that it pretty much just cuts all ties at that point. Alright, I'm going up against Taboo now.
Ready, go!
Yeah, some gens just completely missed out. Oh, he's going in. Give me those lasers. Oh, I missed. Oh, is that? Will this be it? Oh gosh, that move. Oh, that doesn't look fun. No! Ah, I should have stayed on the stage and shielded, I guess.
Game over.
It's been so long since I fought Taboo that I forget some of the tricks that he had. Rip. So close. Does it in German too. German Wario. We miss you. There probably was a DS concept, which, funnily enough, thanks to like Flash 2 and I guess Crusade, that's kind of that what if. It's the closest thing you visually get to like what a DS Smash Bros. Could have been like. Yeah, I don't know. Do I try one more time? Do I not play Vector Man this time? I'll play Dark Samus. I like Dark Samus. I'll play Dark Samus this time. Last try. Which recolor do I want though? I'll go that one. I don't know if I've seen the actual DS concept video. I might have to check that out now, though. Ow. What you gonna do, Rayquaza? What you gonna do? I have assist trophy powers. You can't stop me. Love that taunt. That's just crazy how long ago it's been. And then, of course, you had X and Y not long after that. First time Pokemon was ever in 3D on the handheld, which was pretty cool, all things considered. Got a shiny one of those not too long ago. Oh, Lord. I wonder if I can reflect those. There we go. I love that taunt. It's just so mean. Oh yeah, I remember Emperor. I think I can handle Dynablade Ridley.
Ready?
Give it a try. I should have shielded. Well, that was too close. I'll definitely be taking a heart after this one. I can fly too. You're not so different, you and I. There we go. Kaboom. That's always the fun part. The biggest challenge I can admit to as a dev and seeing like the work that goes into making characters is the biggest fundamental. How do you make a Smash character feel like what they're based on while still fitting the Smash Bros. Formula? The struggle of, does this character actually feel like you're playing, do you feel like you're playing Dark Samus, for example? Like, does this feel like you're playing Dark Samus as a Smash Bros. Character? That's the real struggle, because if you lean too heavily into whatever source material they're from, you get a broken character that doesn't flow very well. If you rely too much on the Smash Bros. Fundamentals, then you have a character that fits Smash Bros. As a game really well, but just doesn't really feel like them anymore at that point. And that's the challenge. That perfect balance.
Ready? Go!
Oh, I didn't do that right. Oh, I should have jumped. Yeah, you're crazy. And he's gone. That leaves Porky. How many have I gone through? This will be number 5, so I still got a little ways to go.
Ready? Go!
it's the Dark Samus trailer theme. I never got why we didn't just have, like, Dark Samus's theme from Metroid Prime 2 ported, or even 3. You get Dark Samus, but not the Dark Samus theme. Always seemed kind of silly. Like, it's a good new remix for the Princeton Depths Kraid's Lair, but just, I don't know. Should have had actual Dark Samus music for the big Dark Samus reveal. Okay, still got 2. PD shouldn't be too hard to deal with.
Ready, go!
Whoop. It's kind of cool that MVC 2 actually has a bit of a resurgence thanks to all the recent ports. My shield! Wakey wakey. Or not. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't hit. Okay, you're angry. I totally get it. One more good hit. There we go. Yeah, I'm kind of curious how the Switch 2 reveal is going to be. And, like, what's all going to come from it in the wider scene. There's some weird stuff going on. So, no secret, I'm a Halo fan. Big Halo fan. And not having too much good luck with the franchise as of late, unfortunately. But supposedly, 2 big things have been leaked by, like, insiders, or as far as, like, oh, what they think is going to happen. Supposedly, rumors coming out that one of the Halo games, probably MCC, is going to be releasing either on PlayStation or the Switch, or both, the new Switch. So you got that rumor going around, and now there's rumors that Steam is going to be adding Halo 5 to PC. So, a little bit of some keeping my eyes open on Halo at this point, just because it seems very peculiar that all this is happening the way that it is right now.
Ready, go!
But if Halo winds up on both the, well, shoot, if Halo winds up on the Switch, then any naysayers that are like, Master Chief could never be at the Smash, he's never been on a Nintendo console. It's like, well, you know, now you can eat it. Eat those words. Ooh. There we go. Get out of here, Master Hand. Well, at this point, Microsoft pretty much promotes Xbox as being anything that you can play Xbox games on. They had a trailer, commercial, whatever, recently that was showing, like, people playing Xbox games through cloud on their mobile, you know, their phone, their tablets, their handhelds. So, and PC, of course. So they're pretty much saying, yeah, anything you play our games on, that's Xbox. So, yeah, kind of losing that console identity at this point, for sure. Yeah, so if it is MCC, that's good, because that also means people that were always anti-Xbox will no longer have a reason to not play Halo at this point. They'll have it on whatever consoles they would prefer, and they'll finally have a chance to play. And if it's crossplay, then more people will have the chance to play with them too, which I'm hoping that's the case. Well, at least this fight kind of makes sense. You got some Ridley versus Dark Samus going on here. Oh, that was weird. Oh, I see what you're trying to do there. Alright, time to die. Or not. Never mind. Halo, we must depose. Strike Knight returned the favor after they included. You know, that's also the tough thing, too. I've always said that if they wanted to be funny, as far as, like, porting Tekken, because, you know, years ago we had the Wii U edition of Tekken Tag 2. And they added, like, all these Nintendo costumes for characters to wear. Kazuya wearing Link's outfit, Brian Fury wearing, like, Captain Falcon's. I always thought if they actually were to put Tekken back on Nintendo, that version should have, like, honestly, I think Captain Falcon should be like a Tekken guest character if it was on a Nintendo anything at this point, Switch 2 or otherwise. Captain Falcon should be a guest character on the Nintendo version of whatever Tekken, whether it be 8 or whatever comes next. I'd love to have playable Captain Falcon as a Tekken character. It would be so cool. Yeah, there's a lot of what ifs. I'm just curious to see how it's all going to play out. I know there's a lot of theory, a lot of uncertainty, so I'm just curious to see which thing is actually going to be legit when the time comes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you're Microsoft. If you're already doing software for all, you have Windows on everything, you might as well have your games on everything, because that's just the Microsoft philosophy anyways. They never really quite got it when it came to the console scene anyways. Xbox totally got carried thanks to the success of Halo. If they didn't have Halo, they would never have taken off the way that they did.
Ready, go!
Oh, it's that move again. Nope, nope, nope. So much nope. Oh, I was supposed to shield and I did not shield.
Game over.
I was so close again, too. Dang. Would it be funny if I actually won as, like, Elizabeth? Like, Elizabeth's the character that gets me through. We're really happy with how this recolor for her turned out. This is a Tekken-inspired recolor. There's a very on-the-nose character reference with how she looks here. Yeah, Nintendo needs to remember that K. Rool is the main Donkey Kong villain, instead of all these who-knows-whos. Nothing wrong with more villains, but gotta remember who your mains are. Oh, I definitely get that. K. Rool was always just the best villain anyways, so you can't compete with Peak. Gotcha.
Turn on the spotlight. Let's go.
Also correct. 100%. Yeah, this is 100% a Lily-inspired recolor. Really happy with how it turned out, too. It's so on point. Even with the pattern that I put on the ribbons that she has on the horns there, matches that very checkered look that her blouse has. She's from Fate. And if you have no idea what Fate is, I can't blame you. Very niche by comparison to other franchises that are in Smash Bros. Or even in the mod community. But yeah, Fate originally started as a visual novel series. Oh, there goes my shield. Took damage though, so it's all good. I need to get out of the corner here. Get out of here.
Let's go, Puppy. Take this. Out my way.
But yeah, started as a visual novel series. Has had other games at this point. Some are like RPG type stuff. Some have been hack and slash, like Dynasty Warriors-esque. Played one of them. It's actually a lot of fun. And there's a ton of anime adaptations of Fate at this point. There's like Fate Stay Night. There's Fate Unlimited Blade Warrior. There's a lot of Fate. A lot of their shows are on Netflix at this point too, so it's pretty easy to track down some iteration of Fate to see some of these characters in action. Although, fun fact, Elizabeth has not actually been in anything outside of the games at this point. Has not been adapted into anime form yet. At least last time I checked. Stab.
Let's go, Puppy. Turn on the spotlight.
Who's my most wanted character? No secret. I want Master Chief. I was so bummed we didn't get Master Chief in Ultimate. Banjo made me really happy. Banjo was basically my number 2 pick as far as like who I wanted to finally see in Smash Bros. But with it being Ultimate and having all these different characters, all these mascots, you have Pac-Man of Namco, Mega Man of Capcom, Sonic from Sega, Mario, Nintendo. I really wanted Master Chief, Xbox, and have like all these different competitors up against one another. They're icons. So I wanted Master Chief. I was really hoping he was going to be one of the characters in the DLC. Instead, we got Steve. And then Sora's big reveal. Didn't know. And we got Sora. So yeah, one day, love to see Chief real. Oh, welcome aboard, Philip. Alright, PD Piranha time.
Ready?
True. Sakurai was just too worried that people would just be too blown away by his epicness. He was afraid that people had just been so shocked by his greatness that they wouldn't be able to like get up off their couches to go pick up a copy of the game. He knew the world was not ready for peak. Angry Piranha. Angry Piranha. There we go.
Let's go, puppy.
I am Steve. We win. Jack Black, Steve, alt win. Life's not complete without Jack Black, Steve. Astrobot would actually be a really good pick. I could see it. It'd probably be relevant in whatever next Smash title gets dropped. I like how Astrobot pretty much proved that if you just have a really good platformer, it doesn't matter. Platformers can still have a place in the current gaming scene. I just hope that some of these other companies that have been too afraid to try will finally be like, you know what, let's take the risk. That way maybe we'll actually see like a real new Banjo-Kazooie game. That's still one of my big hopes. You're a mean birdie. Get out of here. And the fact that it's actually real at this point, like Jack Black's been doing a lot of video game roles lately with Bowser, and then the Borderlands movie, even though that really didn't work out too well, and then of course, yeah, now with Steve. At least he's actually into gaming, so could be worse. At least it's not like a certain you-know-who, stomping some Koopas. Stab. Ooh, that was close. Oh, you want to go? Ooh, that was close. Gotcha.
Turn on the spotlight.
Favorite video game, TV show adaptation? I always have a soft spot for the Mario Brothers Super Show. There's just some ridiculous charm to it that only it could have had for being what it was at the time, especially. And it was actually kind of cool that even though it predated, like, a lot of the stuff we know about modern day versions of, like, Mario Luigi, there were little, like, teases of what could have been. And, we actually got to see a more scared Luigi all the way back then before Luigi's Mansion came out. So, yeah, Super Show's always gonna have a soft spot. Definitely. It's pretty much the only one that I really can think of off the top of my head. Actually, Halo TV show that dropped on Paramount, trash. Didn't have the spirit of what really made Halo what it was. But the web series that was used to promote Halo 4, the Forward Unto Dawn one, that's up there in like that top 5 for sure. I would actually consider that to be my actual favorite adaptation at this point. Forward Unto Dawn was so good. And I think you can actually find that on YouTube. So, yeah, go check out that. Basically the closest thing we've had to a real Halo TV show movie at this point. He's got the very heavy New Yorker Brooklyn style accent. Back when Mario was kind of more middle-aged. It wasn't until like the newer years in the 90s and stuff they were trying to portray him as more like a younger character. But everything up till then it's like, oh yeah, he's like a middle-aged man, you know, he's in his 40s, that sort of thing. This time victory shall be mine. Maybe. That was close. I hate this boss so much. We'll taste death.
Turn on the spotlight.
Yeah. The spotlight will forever be on Elizabeth. This was probably a mistake.
Ready, go!
Ooh, way too close. Oh, there goes my shields. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I kind of deserve that.
Game
Ouch.
over.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as far with Elizabeth anyway. Oh. Okay, boss battles was not going as smoothly as it should have gone.
Event match.
Fun fact, we actually did have some custom event matches that were thrown into Remix as well. That were kind of tucked away in here. The only prevalent one that you could see at the top was the one with Yu Narukami. Wukong himself, nah. Well, the original one, like the actual like Journey to the West character, nah. I guess you can consider the adaptation from Black Myth being a video game equivalent, but actual original character, nah. Also, don't forget, I've said this a few times, but Remix does actually have its own assortment of unique trophies as well. You just gotta know where to look, but they're in here. Technically, there's new fighter trophies for the extended roster. Dry Bowser's got a trophy, Daisy has a trophy, Toad, Metal Mario, Geno, Zeraora, which this is always funny, seeing trophies of characters that didn't exist during Brawl, actually having legit trophies that you can check out. Banjo-Kazooie with their own trophy. This would have been so cool to have an ultimate for real. The big what if. Pichu, Blaziken trophy. Got the Mewtwo, Isabelle. Another thing that, you know, no prior existence. Definitely did not exist in 2008. This was New Leaf, and that came out when the 3DS was a thing. Metal Sonic, Dr. Mario, Knuckle Joe, Waluigi, Lyn, Little Mac trophy. Just kind of cool seeing like all these like trophies. Although that should have proper information updated there. It should also have the Wii Punch Out listed there. And Isaac, Shadow, K. Rool has a trophy. It's so cool just actually having trophies for all the extra fighters. Trophies for characters that would not normally have trophies too, which is pretty great. Like you would never see a Yu Narukami trophy. No way. Everyone gets a trophy. Well, not everyone yet. Not every character has a trophy at this time. Bomberman trophy's pretty hype. Yeah, Mewtwo definitely needed that touch-up. Also altered, let's see. Catching up a little bit. Yeah, a lot of attention to detail, and obviously a lot of it is still work in progress, but being able to experiment and prove that we can do these things makes what we have in store for the future even more exciting. Yeah, I wasn't happy that Ultimate got rid of trophies. It was such a waste. Trophies should come back, I agree. We Fit Trainer Trophy, Mass Man. Yeah, having trophies for some of these characters is just a testament to, like, why we should have had them to begin with. Ultimate should not have ditched them. We could have had a new 13 trophy, dang it. And now we're back to all the extras. I guess that's also the cool thing too. It's like if you have the trophy, then yeah, you can do all the stuff that you would do with trophies normally anyways. Pose them, take the photos, stuff like that. Yeah, World of Light was basically just a glorified event mode, basically. Event matches with flair. To this day, we'll never know. Should have been playable. Would have made so much sense. I think that if Hudson had still been around, Hudson, however you call it, if they had been around and Bomberman was no longer a buyout from Konami, you know, things have been different, then yeah, I could see Bomberman on the roster.
Ready? Go!
I don't think this is the right stage. It should technically be the Persona 3. Yeah, it should actually be the Persona 4 version of this stage. Yeah, especially even compared to Subspace. Subspace may not have been the most exciting thing when you were playing it, but at least you had some really cool cutscenes to look forward to the further you got into it. And some of the platforming was actually kind of fun, even if it was on the generic side of things. Oh, he's not going to stand a chance at this point. I did that wrong.
Persona.
Ooh, that was close. There we go.
Calm down.
New record!
So many Persona games, there's a lot of options for like other characters to be added to the roster if we ever decided to do that. Or, by extension, if the wider Brawl modding scene decided to bring something like that to life. Such things could happen. That's the only current custom event match that's... I know there's more you can actually unlock, but...
Choose your character.
Yay, remix roster for event match. We're doing it then.
Go!
I'll be back.
Oh no. Have a barrel. They weren't ready for that. Get out of here. Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Gotcha. Fireball.
Oh, I don't have my second jump. Please make it back. Was it worth it, Kirby?
Fireball. Fireball.
Uh-oh. All good. All good. Ow. Yes, actually he does. I'll show it off after I get through this match. We're almost there. But yeah, he does have a Warhead recolor. Oh, that was close. Oh, too low. Oh yeah, the one that was made, because yeah, that was King Jigglypuff taking over for like the original Ridley modders. Because there's that mod, the original one's been around for years. I remember an old Jaywitz video of all things talking about the PM Ridley mod from back then when it was like, what, 2015, 16, somewhere around there? Been a minute. But yeah, where's that Warhead recolor? Should be, yep. Technically this one, this is the Warhead recolor.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, it's got the more orange looking eyes, more gunmetal looking, like grayish color. And the blue at the bottom is supposed to be for like the, I guess the tornado effect that Warhead has when you fight him.
Not yet. Fireball. Not yet. Fireball.
Imagine if we actually had Warhead playable.
Fireball.
You ain't coming back from that one. Poor Cloud. What is a good recovery?
Not yet. Fireball. Good. Fireball. Fireball.
He ain't coming back. He just can't do it. Too far. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Almost, admittedly, it does almost make it look like Vector Man's wearing like pants or something. Oh. Love it when it sends you the other direction. You done? Get out of here. Ow.
What a joke.
Easy enough character, too. He's got a very similar design philosophy to Vector Man anyways, with the floating bits. Oh. There we go. Ebb and flow. I am like water. Up you go. Oh, that didn't quite flow the way I wanted to, but it's all good. Unhand me. Shouldn't play that game. Oh, that was close. Oh no. It's just too easy sometimes. Too many good projectiles. Is Warhead an instrument? No, Wario. Warhead is not an instrument. Horseradish isn't an instrument either. More iconic villain, because I think Vector Man 2's villain was more of like this bug type thing, which that's where that recolor is based on. It's supposed to be based on its like, you know, weird reddish fleshy look. So yeah, you have Warhead recolor, and then you got Vector Man 2 boss recolor. I have not actually played that yet. I've thought about checking out some of the Crusade mods. I know there's a lot to do just because sprite characters in a game like that, it's a lot easier to create a moveset based off of that using sprites as the palette. But I have been curious to check it out off and on. There's actually still some mods I still need to check out and just, well, yeah. Mostly the Smash REMIX stuff. I know there's like a port of Cloud and Ryu and Knuckles. The Knuckles one I heard is really good. Need to check that out. The recolor of Deathborn that I use the most.
3, 2, 1.
I like how modded PM Castlevania stage is now extra relevant with the fact that we actually have, you know, playable Belmonts. Backported Belmonts. Finally, this stage has far more significance than ever before. He's taunting me. I can feel it. Not this time. Fear the foot dive. Oh, I missed. Should have went the other direction. Like how you still have that really long, drawn-out up tilt, but it's got this nasty shockwave to it. Oh. There's that almighty back air. I should have reversed it. There it is. Oh, it absolutely is way easier by comparison. Even in execution, because you technically already have your object. It just needs to know which image it's loading up depending on which attack you're doing. It probably helps that once you have kind of like a template made for like the data for the 3D fighter, for the fighter, then you just have to swap out the sprites accordingly. Way more straightforward by comparison. She's so good with the spot dodges. But you can't stop the almighty foot dive. Sometimes I'll also pick up Deathborn. You know, Dark Samus and Deathborn are kind of the two that I bounce between the top three that I normally play. I guess that's 5 characters that I gravitate to the most. Just like how Ganon felt in Melee, so having like better Ganon is just so good. So satisfying. I like landing that side B. Oh, thanks again for being here tonight, Jake. Really appreciate it. It is getting late. I think I'll probably be winding down after this match anyways, too, because it is almost midnight where I'm at. I need to get to bed because I got work tomorrow, unfortunately. Oh, yeah. Love to actually see Skull Kid, finally. That's one of the big ones. I just want to see a Zelda rep that's just not, you know, finally a Zelda rep that's not another Ganon, Link, or Zelda, basically. I mean, I'd like to see a Toon Ganon. Toon Ganon would actually be cool, but I want to see some new Zelda faces. Show me some Skull Kid, show me some Demise even, Girahim. I don't know. Take Malin from Ocarina, have her attack with the milk jugs, I don't know. Whoa. Get out of here. I guess that's it. Easy peasy, I guess.
Yes, the dream is over.
I love those Deathborn lines. Chase did such a good job voicing Deathborn. Hope his current adventures have been pretty good since his remix days. Oh, yeah, probably about that time to wind down. I do want to actually have some matches with people next time. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. Hopefully next time I also start earlier in the day. Kind of the big thing that I didn't, just how my day was going. Didn't get to start as soon as I wanted to, so a little later than expected. Eggman for Rex. Finally, a Sonic character that's not just another hedgehog. That would mix things up a little. Oh. But yeah, so next time I do a remix with Monty stream, I'd like to actually, anyone that wants to have some matches, get a few of those here and there. I think that'd actually be a lot of fun. I was wanting to do it tonight, like I was saying, but just with how late it was, didn't quite work out this time. But at least we hung out, talked about some remix, talked about some Rex. Like I said, with the stuff we got planned, it's gonna be a pretty big deal this year. It's gonna be something. You guys are not ready for the hype, but when you get it, you're gonna be stuck with it for a while. Interesting. It's always cool to see like how people would feel about which characters got released when, because that's also a tough thing too. Since we're not like an actual project, like we could be on the chopping block any day due to circumstances. So sometimes you got to throw a good idea out there and hope people enjoy it, even if the timing's not the best, because any day these mods could come to an end if Nintendo really decides to put their foot down. They have every right to. So just have to wait and see. But Eggman for Rex, that'd be an interesting pick. Oh, so I guess with that, trying to think when I'll stream again. Maybe I'll do a remix with Monty stream again at the end of the week, maybe Friday. If I do any other streaming at all during the week, though, I might go back to some of the stuff that I've been doing before, like, or I have the stream that's focused on playing the games that are EX rosters from, playing like Crisis Core for Zack, or Vector Man for Vector Man, or some of the Bomberman games. And basically just go for a little bit either until I, die in those games, or if I played a certain amount of time and then I decide, time to hop off and play a different game instead. So, yeah, I think that's what I'll do as far as my plans go. I also want to put a lot of time and effort into getting some of the Rex-related stuff I'm still working on before we release. So if I don't stream during the week, that's what I'm putting my free time toward. So, see how it goes. But yeah, that being said, I think it's about that time. It's late. I need to get some sleep. Everyone else here should probably get some sleep too, especially if you're somewhere over on the East Coast. It's got to be like well after like 2, it's almost 3 for you guys, so get some sleep. That being said, I'd like to thank you all for being here again tonight. Thanks for hanging out. Wario, Christian, Jake, JViz, General, thank you guys all for being here. Honest was here a bit ago. Appreciate the drop by. Just quickly scrolling back through a second. We had Cora here. We had Philip drop in. Yeah, a lot of people pay a visit tonight. Appreciate all you guys checking it out. Big D was here. Julian was here earlier too. Yeah, glad I was able to do it. So just stay tuned. There will be more to come in the not too distant future. Oh yeah, Vector was here at the very beginning for a moment too. Appreciate it. We're working hard for us and for all of you, so that's why we're making sure that when we do release, you guys have a lot to enjoy, and that the wait was definitely worth it. And speaking of that, just have to wait a little longer before the next one, but next one will definitely happen. Like I said, aiming for Friday for the next remix with Monty stream, and we'll see during the week if I do anything else. But that being said, really appreciate you all being here. I look forward to the next one, and until the next one, farewell.